Welcome to This Is My Voice, a podcast where we discuss self-development and self-improvement and share our perspectives on several other issues. Thank you for joining us today. This is your host, Laura Tia, and this is my voice. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Is My Voice. I am thrilled to be here with you again after a very, very much needed break. Thank you for your patience and continuing support during my hiatus, and thank you for tuning in to This Is My Voice again. Today, I would love to share some insights and strategies on a topic that has been on my mind a lot lately: finding balance in our very busy lives. It's one of the reasons why I've been away for so long, trying to balance everything that has been going on for the longest time. And I would love to have that conversation with you guys. So in this episode, we will explore why balance is so important and how to set priorities and boundaries, the role of mindfulness, and very, very, very much more. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed or you're just looking for ways to, enhance your well-being, this is a conversation for you. And I would love to begin with a very important question of why is balance important? Why is balance essential in our lives? I cannot overstate the importance of balance enough, considering how chaotic the last few years of my life has been. Balance is not just about managing our time. It goes way beyond that. It's about managing our energy and our well-being, and because it allows us to be more productive, happy, and healthier. When it comes to balance, we need to understand that outside of the chaos, outside of all our responsibilities and what we have to do, it begins with us. With you are your greatest asset. So you need to learn how to balance keeping you intact, sane, grounded, so you can do everything you need to do without burning out. Without balance, we can easily burn out. We can easily become stressed and lose sight of what truly matters to us. Without balance, which is exactly what happened to me, you get tossed into this survival mode, and everything else is secondary to your well-being, which is not healthy, trust me. Now, the consequences of imbalance, when we're out of balance, we may experience firsthand chronic stress, fatigue, and a decline in our mental and physical health. And it goes back to exactly what I said about us being our greatest asset. Once there's a decline in your mental and physical health, everything else just crumbles. It's why I always stress on silent things. If you haven't checked out Silent Things, which is my blog, you should do that right away. Self-care is very important because everything begins and ends with you. If you're not feeling well enough, if you don't take care of yourself, everything else falls. You are the center, so everything else falls apart when you do not take care of yourself. You need to find the balance between prioritizing you and your needs and then everything else. Now, imbalance can also strain your relationships and reduce your overall quality of life. And we do not want that, because you find that once you fail to take care of yourself as your greatest asset, when you fail to treat yourself as your biggest asset, when things start to fall apart, you realize you have no interest in anything else, not relationships, not the things that would necessarily make you happy before, and no hobbies, nothing. You just want to curl up in bed and be alone, and we do not want that, During my break, my very, very extended break, I struggled with finding balance myself. I was juggling multiple responsibilities, and I also felt very overwhelmed. I had no presence on social media, no presence on podcasting or my blog. I just went off the grid because it got so much and I failed to take care of me, I crumbled. I was in a very dark, very bad place for a very long time. And even though it seems like I'm out of it right now, Rome wasn't built in a day, You slowly and gradually build your way back to the place that you begin to understand, begin to realize, and begin to accept that you are very important to everything else. Before that job, before that relationship, before that, before everything else, you are the base, you are the foundation. And if you're not stable, if you're not grounded, everything else crumbles. It's beginning to sound very repetitive, but trust me, I'm just trying to reiterate how important you are in everything you do. That is the key to finding balance in your life. One key lesson I learned is that balance is not a one-time achievement, but it's a very continuous process. It's about making daily choices that align with your values and your needs, and about understanding that you come first. You have to put you first. Will this benefit me? How would this affect my mental health? How would this affect me physically? It has to start with you. You need to understand that before you can find balance. It begins with you. Taking a step back really helped me. I got to a place where I had to take a step back to reassess everything. I reassessed my priorities and I made necessary adjustments to achieve a more balanced life. This is important, this is not. I need to do this, but before I can do it, you need to reassess everything, your priorities, your goals, your vision, your relationships. You need to reassess and decide, this is important, this is what I can do, this is what I should do, and start prioritizing things based on how you can actually handle them. And in that reassessment, you also need to include self-care. Throughout the week, I don't care if you work 9 to 5, I do work 9 to 5 now, but throughout the week, Mondays to Fridays, you have to find time, at least 3 times within your 5-day work week, to take care of yourself. What do you enjoy doing? What helps you unwind? If it's a glass of wine after work, do it. Find a movie, find a good book, relax, take care of yourself. You need to incorporate that into your everyday life so it becomes part of your routine. Because once you're happy, once you take care of yourself, once you prioritize you, everything falls into place because you're not neglecting your biggest asset. That is one thing I need you to understand. And another thing I would also advise you to do is to start by setting priorities. Start by identifying what's really important to you, not to anyone else, you. This could be your health, your family, career, personal growth. Whatever you identify as the most important to you, that is what you put on the top of your priority list. Focus on these priorities and let go of other less important stuff or delegate them to when you have free time. But always prioritize what's most important to you and save time, especially weekends. I know most of us, because we work 9 to 5, you try to run your errands on the weekend. But also try to prioritize time during that week where you do something for you, something you enjoy, something to unwind, to let go of the stress of the week. Not what you've already incorporated into your regular routines from Mondays to Fridays. I'm talking about a whole day, Saturday or Sunday, or a few hours or half the day where it's just you. What you need to do for you, what you need. You're taking time off the weekend to just do you, not run errands. Do you. We need to get in the mindset that life isn't about survival mode all the time. It shouldn't always be that. No. It shouldn't always be about paying bills or about taking care of family or kids. Find time during the week, time during the weekend to take care of you, to enjoy yourself, to live, or at least start trying to live. Time management is another thing. Effective time management is very important. It sucks when you work in a company that it would suck to be surrounded by people who have poor time management, which was honestly one of the biggest drawbacks for me. But effective time management is very important. And in today's very tech savvy and work environment, we have tools that can help, like planners and calendars and to-do lists to organize your day. There's so many of them out there. Asana, Monday.com, I think. There's just so much. But if you're more like me, I am a writer, so I have the notebook or the journal and the pen. Try to plan things out weekly. I know life happens and things just fall misalign, right? But it does help to have a base management of this is how I want my day to go, or this is how I want my week to go. These are all I plan to do for this week. Just plan your time down to the T. I work 9 to 5, okay? I get off work at 5. I can make the gym at 6 or 6:30 just to, clear my head. Or I can go out for a cup of coffee on Wednesday with Jimmy. Just plan your day out to the T. And if things fall out of place, no problem. Okay, I have a slot free so I can do this instead. Effective time management is very important because it helps you balance work and self-care. And we need to understand, I know I've said this a lot so far, but that is very important. That's why I keep repeating it. You need to find the balance between taking care of yourself and then taking care of everything you need to take care of. You're important to everything else. If you fall, none of those things will be accomplished. So you need to plan things down to the last minute. Like I said, it's okay if things fall out of place. You can always go back and say, okay, I have free slots or I have no time for this. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Just effective time management is very crucial. Break tasks. Like if you have things to do for work, if you have things to do for church, wherever you volunteer, if you do not, or if you have so many other things with kids and the likes, break all that into manageable chunks and tackle them one after the other. You have an entire week to do all of this. Like break everything down. It's why managing time down to the last minute is important. If you, like me, prefer to use the pad and the pen, do that. Write things down. Everything that needs to be accomplished, daytime, whenever, and break everything down to what you can do. I can do this next week. I can do this on Monday. Oh, wait, maybe if I was running errands on Saturday, I can do this. Just plan everything down to the T. Time management is very important to find the balance between you as a person and everything else you need to do. Unfortunately, the economy and life sucks. We essentially we cannot survive necessarily without our jobs, or some people have 2 jobs at this point just to keep up with expenses and bills. And I'm pretty sure if you have 2 jobs, you're listening to this and thinking, really? Is she serious? Prioritize self-care with 2 jobs. How am I supposed to do that? Well, that's where the time management comes in. Whenever you get free time on the weekends, just map out your week, what you need to do. There's got to be a time in there. If there isn't, you have to create it. You're very important. You're very important. Imagine falling sick and not being able to make any of the jobs you work. It's going to affect your finances as well, and you don't want that. So you need to start taking care of yourself now to avoid all of that in the long run. So as impossible as it sounds, you need to make it work. You need to find the time to take care of yourself. And then you also, moving on to one of the biggest points in all of this, and we've talked about this a lot in previous episodes, setting boundaries. You need to learn to say no without feeling guilty. You're important. If anything is going to stress you out, stress you thin, you need to say no and not feel bad about it. You need to set boundaries to help protect your time and your energy. Your time and your energy is important as well. So if you know off the bat, you know your schedule. If someone asks you for something that's impossible, say no. Don't be afraid to say that. And don't feel guilty for putting yourself first. And you also need to communicate your limits clearly to others and stick to it. Do not say, okay, I'm going to try. There's not try in this. No is no. I have no time for this, period. Communicate clearly, set your boundaries, and stick to them. You need to understand that. And then brings us to our most important point, which I have already mentioned earlier, self-care. I emphasize this a lot on my blog. It's non-negotiable. Self-care is number one. It's important. You have to incorporate activities that rejuvenate you into your routine. Mondays to Fridays and once on a weekend. You need to do this for yourself. You will thank yourself later in the long run. Trust me. Trust me. I've been through this. I'm speaking from experience. I wouldn't lead you astray, believe me. Self-care is non-negotiable. You need to incorporate this. You need to remember to always take care of yourself because it enables you to do what you need to do and enables you to take better care of others. As a mom, if you're burnt out and you're stressed and you're tired, you won't have enough energy to take care of your kids, and you don't want that. So you need to prioritize yourself so you can have the energy and the time to take care of them. And that is a wrap for this episode. I would love to hear from you. How do you currently incorporate self-care into your daily routines? Share your experiences and your tips on finding balance by reaching out on social media or by leaving a comment. Your stories and your insights could help others who are on the same journey to finding balance and learning to prioritize self-care. In our next episode, I'll answer some of your questions about self-care and about finding balance. So send in your questions and let's keep this conversation going. You can reach out to me on social media. I am on Instagram and TikTok as Of Life She Writes, or through my website, which is silentthings.com. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your questions. To recap, we've explored the importance of self-care in achieving balance in our lives. And we concluded that self-care isn't selfish. It's very important for our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Remember to set time aside for yourself. Establish boundaries, sure, and make sure self-care is a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Thank you for joining me today on This Is My Voice. Self-care is a powerful tool in our journey towards balance and fulfillment. Stay tuned for next episode where we will continue this series on finding balance. Do not forget to subscribe to This Is My Voice on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a review and share this episode with friends who might need some inspiration. Until next time, this is Laura Tia, and this is my voice.